going on?
You tell us.
Yeah.
Red, how are you? Nice to see you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Well, before we get started, if I could make a couple introductions, please. First of all, to Frank and Fraser Hinkey with American Bank and Trust. Thank you very much, Frank, for allowing us the use of your lobby. Initially, we were going to do this outside, but the weather, we had a little something. They were wanting to make it a little bit of rain once again in time for the Bassmasters. Fortunately, we had a couple of good days of weather for that. So, again, Frank, thanks very much for having us here. Very nice of you. I'd like to introduce my family, please. First of all, Andrea Brown. She's over here. Andrea, how are you?
Great.
She is an assistant district attorney with the Tulsa County District Attorney's Office. Graduated from SMU Law School and is pursuing a career in law, obviously. Her husband, Brad Brown. Brad, he's a graduate of the University of Tulsa Law School and is an attorney presently with Jones Gocher, a long-time law firm in the city of Tulsa. Our daughter, Ann Bennett, is here. She's a graduate of the University of Arkansas, is a very successful and very good photographer, something I know and love myself. And she obviously is expecting as well. She's going to have our first grandson in June. Andrew's having our first granddaughter in May. So we're looking forward to this spring. Ann's husband, J.P. Bennett, is not here. He's not with us. He's able, but not capable. Well, what's the right word? He won't be here. He's pursuing a career with the Broken Arrow Fire Department. He's presently in the Firefighting Academy. Still has only a month or so to go, and we certainly didn't want him to take him away from his duties in the Fire Academy. So, when's he finish that? April 19th. So he'll be protecting the good people of Broken Arrow at that point. And our son, Dewey Bartlett III. He's a graduate at the University of Oklahoma. He's a petroleum engineer with Newfield Energy the last couple of years. Done a good job. I haven't made a mistake that I'm aware of. Well, last and certainly not least, my wife, Victoria Bartlett, my best friend, First Lady of Tulsa, person that sticks with me literally by my side and has allowed us to pursue a lot of good things. Victoria retired early last year, and she really did do it for the reason that she wanted to have more time, devote more time to our city. The various projects that she's been involved with, she wanted to spend more time with them. Everything from early childhood development to helping kids in school to the Bridges of Faith program. So she's been in the middle of that and is doing a great job. Everywhere I go, I hear one resounding theme over and over again, and it's not that. Static. Not that. I hear one resounding theme over and over again. Things have definitely turned around in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa's on the move. There really is a very true buzz in the air in Tulsa. For the first time in a long time, Tulsans are optimistic, and for a very good reason. We have momentum because we're creating jobs again. Isn't it great to look around here at 61st and Yale and see construction, growth, and progress? It's happening all over town. This is just one good example of everything that's going on all around our city. My family and I have prayerfully considered whether I should seek re-election. We've all come to the same conclusion. It shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone here that I will seek re-election to continue as your mayor of the great city of Tulsa, Oklahoma. The reason really is pretty simple. We should stay the course. We need to stay the course. There's simply no reason to return to the past. When I took over as mayor 3 years ago, we faced very difficult economic times. The city literally was on the brink of being able to pay its bills. We were running out of cash. We had taken drastic measures, even turning out the lights in the expressways and grounding the 2 police helicopters. Immediately after I became mayor, I had to ask our city employees to do with less. That was a very hard decision, but it was very necessary. We couldn't ask Tulsans who were hurting at that time to do more than we at City Hall were willing to do. We had to stay open for business. We had to fight to keep the lights on, maintain and rebuild our streets, and secure our neighborhoods. Most of all, we had to get the economy going again. We had to create jobs. We announced that our goal was to become the job-gettingest city in America. We're not there yet, but we have made remarkable progress. 3 years ago, our city was losing jobs and losing them fast. But did you know that in the last 3 years, we have created nearly 15,000 jobs? Did you read that in January alone, almost 1,000 jobs were created and added to the rolls of our city? That's a near record. That is a near record for January's production of jobs. And those jobs each paid in excess of $50,000 in salary and benefits. Pretty substantial. Last month, Tulsa ranked 5th in the country in an economic index that ranks the vitality of cities across our country. We're 5th in the country. That's great improvement, but our sights are on number 1. We want to be first place. Well, how did we get things turned around? We did it the Tulsa way. We did it without raising taxes. We did it for the reason of trying and attempting to manage our way out of the problem. We did the exact opposite of what the federal government does. I knew that we could manage our way out of this problem. We didn't spend money we didn't have. We used common sense business practices. We brought an end to the bickering. It wasn't easy. The old city council did not leave without a fight, but Tulsans spoke loudly. Most of all, we Tulsans refused to quit. We took the attitude of Winston Churchill, who said, never, ever, 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 ever give up, never give up, never give up, never give up. Tulsa did not give up, and neither did I, and neither will I. Now we're reaping the benefit of that attitude. And so now I say we must stay the course, stay the course, stay the course. We've had 4 mayors in 10 years. We must now have consistency in the management and the leadership of our city so that we can continue the great progress that we've made. We've stuck it out, we've persevered, and now we are prospering. We're moving again because we decided that we were one Tulsa and we would solve our issues together. There is no longer an East Tulsa, West Tulsa, North, South, Midtown, this, that. We're united simply as one Tulsa, one community. We turn Tulsa around by managing our city with the conservative, common sense solutions that Tulsans have always been proud of. We've listened to our citizens through first ever town hall meetings and citizen surveys. We've acknowledged that we work for you and we are servants of the public. I'm very proud to have that heritage in my family. And my dad, amongst all else, was a very humble man, a humble servant of the people. And it is that for which I strive, and I ask every day of the God above to help me in that effort. Because you, the citizens, are the employees. Pardon me. That you, the citizens, are the employers. And as mayor, I am your employee. The taxpayers don't work for the city council, nor do the taxpayers work for the city's labor union. We all work for you. After I became mayor, our management team went to work to find true savings. If we stay the course, we're projected to save approximately $25 million in newly identified efficiencies in the next 5 years. That is the result of implementing the KPMG recommendations. All of these efficiencies allow us to do what city government is supposed to do. Now that the economy is improving, we're able to focus again on the core services. Public safety, a core service. That is a priority for me, always has been, always will be. Since January of 2011, we have held 3 consecutive police academy Academy is recruiting 103 police officers. A fourth academy began in January with 40, bringing our total new recruits to 143 in less than 2 years. 143 in less than 2 years. We've held 2 fire academies, graduating 72 firefighters. We will have a class of 30 starting next month. That should result in a total of 102 new firefighters joining the ranks of the Tulsa Fire Department. Thanks to our police department, overall violent crimes are down. Most often, when a violent major crime occurs, our police officers quickly respond to those responsible and arrest them. Now we've had some major, highly publicized crimes recently, but the trends are heading in the right direction. Last year, for example, was the lowest we'd had in the homicide rate in 10 years. I want to make a very clear point. We cannot put more boots on the ground if our city can't pay its bills as we were embarking upon several years ago. Today, not only are we paying our bills, we have for the first time put money in our rainy day account, $2 million in there today. We must never again, and I mean it, we must never again be faced with laying off city employees and hampering our core city services. They provide strong police and fire protection, clean water, adequate trash collection, safe streets and roads, our core services. This rainy day fund is so important because it guarantees that in good times and in bad, we will keep the lights on, the helicopters in the air, and boots on the ground fighting crime. We are committed to the basics that Tulsans should rightly be able to expect from its City Hall. In fact, one of my favorite projects that we started a few years ago was the Lights On project. By looking over areas that need street lighting and comparing the list with areas that the Tulsa Police Department says are in most need of security, we've added street lights in those areas of town to make neighborhoods safer, and it's worked. Citywide, we're removing dilapidated buildings where drugs and crime can flourish. We've also understood the significance of promoting more neighborhood watch groups. Our organized crime unit, our organized gang unit, has taken 353 firearms out of the hands of gang members in the last 2 years. 353. We know that fighting crime means getting to the children early. That means making sure that we have something to do, that they have something to do in the summer alongside positive role models. Our churches have many resources and can pull together activities to accomplish that. So for the first time, we involved the churches of our city to help kids get out of harm's way during the summer. We named our pilot program Operations Bridges of Faith. Victoria has led this effort from the very beginning. And I want to thank you very much for that. During this process, firefighters and police officers volunteered to work with minority teams. They developed relationships based upon trust. Now, some of those teenagers are more comfortable talking to a person in a uniform, and maybe someday they'll wear one and help protect the very neighborhood from which they came. Wouldn't that be a good day? And that's going to happen, I assure you. But we have broken through the barriers, whether racial, economic, political, or misperception. I cannot overstate how successful it was and how important it is that we continue the church's involvement to keep our children out of harm's way. Consistency of leadership. That's what we're talking about here. Consistency of leadership. We also want to make sure that those great kids have a great job someday in Tulsa. Today, there are many opportunities in manufacturing, and that's something we want to make sure continues. We are open for business in Tulsa, and we are doing more, and we are growing stronger. We're thinking about the future. For example, developing compressed natural gas, CNG fueling stations that provide for the use of cheap, clean, and efficient natural gas. Tulsa is leading the way. The city government of Tulsa is leading the way, converting our city's vehicles and opening a publicly available CNG fueling station. By converting our fleet, we lead by example, and we are supporting Tulsa jobs and Tulsa businesses. We need to protect these jobs, but we also need to train and educate the next generation of workers and workforce and the leaders in the new modern work technologies. How exciting it is to have announced last month that Verizon, just a few weeks ago, decided that they wanted to create 500 more jobs in Tulsa, right here. So I want to leave you with just a little bit of a summary. Tulsa is on the move. We need to stay on the move. We are one Tulsa, working together. We're preparing for tomorrow through savings and investing. It's pretty simple stuff. It may not be glitzy or glamorous, but it's plain common sense, and by gosh, it works. If you're looking for glitz, I'm probably not your candidate. If you want a steady hand and common sense government, I'm asking you for your vote today, and would be humbled to serve as your mayor once again. Our transportation is better, and we're creating more jobs. Our city's management is better. And by the way, we have more jobs. We're paying our bills on time. And just in case you missed the message, we have more jobs. Our overall crime rate is lower, which means our city is safer, stronger, and more vibrant. And we have more jobs. We're open for business, the lights are on, the future is bright, the economic and social buzz in our city is very real. We have become a destination city, a city of choice for living. If you simply look behind me, this is our future. This is our future, and they're staying here on their own decision. Tulsa should stay the course, stay in the move, and never go back, because first place is in sight, and it's the only place for Tulsa. Thank you, my good friends, for coming here today. We have much work ahead. I look forward to a discussion on the positive things that are happening in our city today and in the future. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them one-on-ones, and I really want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of our team.